Hello, girlfriends, and welcome to Girlfriend2Girlfriend. I'm Jabbour, the founder of the Girlfriends Club, and I'm really excited to be with you all tonight. We are in the middle of Christmas week, and things are winding down, and we're just able to take a deep breath and decompress and try to enjoy the season. So I've invited all of you to join me and my friend Jane and my friend Jenna for a pajama party tonight. We thought we would do some serious girlfriending and talk about some silly traditions, serious traditions, and some fun stories along the way. So please welcome Jane Hanson and Jenna Natale. Hey, girls. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
What's going
Yeah, I
on?
got to give you the full view of my t-shirt so you can see it.
Wow. Okay. Did you say have a merry cocktail?
Oh,
Okay.
love it, Jane.
I'm going to have a merry glass of wine. Cheers.
Night here's all day. Oh, and the pants. And pants.
I'm a candy striper.
Yeah, you look great. And Jenna, what are you sporting there?
I got invited to like a small scale with my sister-in-law, who you may know.
Yes.
We
From
did a
last
pajama
week.
party. Yeah, from last week. So we did a pajama party, and I was like in such a panic because I didn't have anything. Because when I moved, I threw away all of my silly things, when me and Peter moved into the house over the summer.
Right.
So I found this at Big Lots, believe it or not. So
It's
I think
cute.
it's kind of cute. And Cody's really best dressed today.
Yeah, I'm thinking Cody is like, wow.
I know. And she can kind of go a little thug when you put she's definitely a Tom.
I love it. But Jane, where's your baby? Where's Charlie?
Oh, yeah, I heard we were having a puppy party too.
Where is she? I know, but my puppy's not behaving. Daisy's sleeping.
Okay, here's Charlie. So Charlie's got on a little Patagonia kind of thing with a appropriate reindeer.
Oh my goodness.
I love her.
She looks like she likes it too.
Very warm and cozy and snuggly. And then she tried to run away today. Not run away, but she ran out of the house in it. And I was like, oh my God.
Don't get it dirty. I can hear you now.
See the little antlers pouncing.
I love it. Well, I decided to go old school and I wore plaid tonight. So
I love that.
Daisy's got on a great bandana. Maybe she'll find her way over here in a little bit. But before we get started, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Johnny, who has been creating all the social media posts. And I thought that he just completely nailed it. Here you go. I mean, Johnny, you did a great job.
Graphic.
And you guys, Johnny survived COVID. He's been sick for like 3 weeks, and he still got in touch with his inner girlfriend.
Doing this in the middle of COVID? I mean,
yeah. So Johnny, I know you and your wife are watching, so thank you so much. I mean, you make us look good every week, so really appreciate it. I mean, without him, forget about it.
I know, seriously, isn't that the truth? I just want to show you something. So you see this cake?
Oh yeah, panettone.
Well, this is from this friend of mine, Steffi, who owns a pasta factory in Abruzzo. Turn it this way. Allie's telling me.
We should go there.
That is dope.
We should go there.
The bow. Everybody, they're telling me to turn this. You see the bow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But anyway, so she sent these to me from Italy, and I'm so excited because you know how this year all Christmas traditions are kind of thrown out the window.
Yeah.
And when I got this from her, I was almost crying because I'm like, oh, thank you.
So I make bread pudding with panettone.
Oh, you do?
What do you mean?
Where haven't I gotten? Jenna, have you had some?
No, that's why my face looks like it's you keep a secret from people, Allie. This is our second Christmas knowing each other, and now you're telling me that you make your bread pudding with panettone.
Oh my God, it's so skirt blowing. It's not okay. Like it's not. It's beyond. It's illegal. I will send you. I will post the recipe. It's absolutely amazing. I learned it from our friends at Carmine's.
Oh, Carmine's. I love that place.
Yeah. So when I was pregnant, I think with Harrison, and there were 9 of us pregnant at the same time in my office at the New York Times. We would go out the back door and fall into Carmine's, and we would have these platters of pasta and then platter upon platter of dessert. And
Ugh.
no, for me, it was the bread pudding. I just stopped there. I thought it was low calorie. Yeah, right. Okay.
It's a
But
Bread and pudding.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know it was the pregnancy thing, but yeah, kind of crazy, but true. And that was kind of like a really fun thing that we would do. I mean, the eating festival, but yes, quite skirt blowing.
well, you get a pass on eating when you're pregnant, so that's all
I think there's been a pass on eating for COVID. There's been
Oh,
like a
yeah.
lot. Who's kidding who?
No.
Use mine in the baggy zip up tonight, ladies.
Oh my gosh. I continue to strive and go to the gym every day, but boy, I don't know where these calories are creeping in from, but I think everybody has realized some kind of an issue.
Well,
Maybe not.
food makes one feel comforted, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite food to eat at Christmas besides your amazing bread pudding that we haven't tried yet? But what is it? Tell me, what do you guys have that you can't
Well,
live?
I like to make lasagna and I like to eat it. That's like I think that's my signature dish. I'm a much more savory person, and I like, again, bread pudding, pasta. Load me up. What about you, Jenna?
You know, I'm like so typical. I'm really a dessert girl. I'm the total opposite of you, Allie. Like, listen, I love my like lasagna. Don't get me wrong, very Italian. Gotta have my meat, gotta have my pasta, gotta have the cheese. But I worked in the food industry from 14 years old, if you could believe it. That was my first job in a bakery. I worked in an Italian bakery, and my holidays straight through to the time that I graduated college. Oh, there she is.
We
Oh,
changed.
quick change.
Oh.
Wow.
That is hilarious. Oh my God, she has a whole Cody, we have to do an outfit change. Girl. But yeah, I'm really a dessert girl. And I think it's because I spent so much time, especially, in high school, in a Italian bakery where there's just so much love. And it seemed like a lot of work at the time. But I worked with 2 of my best friends who are still my best friends to this day. And really great bosses that were just so old school traditional. And when I would come home, and I mean, you'd work probably until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you'd get in at 5:30 in the morning.
Right, of course.
And you were doing those shifts for a couple of days because the lines are out the door for, days for Christmas. And I'd come home and my family would just want to smell me because I would smell like cannoli and pinoli cookies. So I'm really into the traditional.
Ooh.
I mean, pinoli cookies, how many, 20 somethings are really into those? Or, biscotti and lemon cookies.
I like pinoli cookies a lot.
But a lot of people don't know those like old traditional Italian
Mhm.
desserts anymore. So
Those are
that's something, even bread pudding, I feel like is so underrated.
It's so underrated and it's so good.
Yeah. So I'm the one who comes back with 3 to 4 pounds of, like these desserts. And I love showing it to the kids because my husband has a lot of kids in his family. And you come home with the St. Joseph and they don't understand what it is. And to be able to explain to them the whole process, it's really nostalgic for me.
Oh, that's cool. I love
What
that.
about you, Jane?
Yeah.
Well, my stuff is all Norwegian traditions. So we have a bread called lefse, which is a flat bread made out of mashed potatoes. And you cook it on this special griddle. And it's really, really thin. People would probably call it something similar to a crepe or a crepe or something, but it's different than that. And what you traditionally do is you put sugar, cinnamon, and butter on it, and you roll it up. But I like to use it with all kinds of other stuff and just use it like I don't know. Anyway, I love that. And then we have this wacky fish called lutefisk, which it's like blubber.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't like it at all, but we have it every Christmas because we have to. And I take a little tiny bite of it, and then I pretend like I've eaten a lot. So
I love it. That's
and
funny.
we have Swedish meatballs.
It's a staple.
And then we have there's this amazing cake that's made, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it's all little tiny pieces of cookie that are kind of all stacked up. And then there's another,
Are they like honey bowls?
no, I can't, no, they're like, oh, they're open in the middle.
Okay.
Like pirouettes?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But then we also have what we call kroomkaka, which is also made in a griddle. And then it's rolled up right the moment you take it off. And then it gets, gets hard. It's kind of like the Norwegian version of a cannoli. And you can
Okay.
do it with anything you want.
Yummy.
Really, really good. So I love all of that stuff.
See, these are great traditions and fun treats, and something that we have in my house here for I don't know for how many. I guess the kids are 22 and 24. They've always bought me fun things, and they went to Catholic school, and they would have like the send the kids in with $5 and they'll shop for the whole family. Like the little mission day fair. And I always marveled at like Harrison would wrap, stuff in like a lunch bag, and it would be like the little manger, like the cutest, things. And Mary Kate would just do a picture of herself, so it's all like these, these fun traditions. And it kind of it gets sad now that they're getting older. But I have to say, yesterday, Mary Kate was like, "Oh, Mom, I got you a treat." And I'm like, "You did?" And I said, "Is it for Christmas?" She's like, "Well, no, I want you to open it now." Now, Mary Kate's 22. It's a tea towel. Can everybody read that?
I need
This is from my daughter. I need a cocktail. Hold the tail. Hello? Okay, so
Love it.
this is going to take us right into this conversation where I'm always like, I am not your friend. I am your mother. This is what you give your friend.
Wait, can I show you? This is really, I'm going to show you this t-shirt that
I
my
mean,
daughter-
this is crazy. It's like not okay, Jenna.
I love it.
Can you read it?
There we go.
I love
Wait.
it.
When Santa squeezes his fat white ass down the chimney, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes. Go ahead, this side of the nut house. That's so funny. Again, did your daughter get you that?
Yes.
No, I have one that's almost as bad. Well, but it wasn't from a child, and it wasn't me to my mother, but my husband and my brother-in-law, they really like obscene shirts like that. That's their thing, right? So last year, we both, myself and my husband and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, we all got married in the same year. So it was like the year of weddings, right? And Peter gets me and Susan sweatshirts that say "Real women marry assholes." And we're like opening this in front of like his mother, my mother, my father. They're like, "What?"
How is this cute?
Not cute at all, but he thought it was hilarious.
Right, of
And now
course.
this year they've gotten like those obscene, like ugly sweaters that just say ridiculous things on them. And now that's what he wants to, him, my brother-in-law, and my other brother-in-law, and my husband's brother, they're going to wear this to Christmas at my mother-in-law's house, who's going to have a canary.
Yeah, but
Right?
here, you want to carry the towel?
Right?
You will loan you the towel and I'll
I
loan
would-
yours.
No, but seriously, it's so interesting how, all of a sudden we went from being, I'm never not going to be her mother, but the relationship changed, right? And she thought she was telling the woman, "Oh, I'm buying that for my mother." And the woman was like, "Really? Who's your mother?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." But, Jenna, I'm sure that you had a transitional time like with your mom where things really changed, right? And, now maybe you
Yeah.
share different secrets and stories or
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, my mom is like my confidant. Definitely. I mean, me and her are just incredibly close. She knows everything about me, but I was kind of always that way. I kind of always, I mean, I was like the little girl who would do something bad and then immediately spill her guts to her mom, which
Oh,
is just pathetic. But my mom was always very good about the open door policy and like, anything that you say will be shared in confidence. And that's something that she initiated at a very young age with me. And I mean, I guess the gifts just got more boring over time, but I've always I always make something. So like last year I bought a Cricut, those stupid machines that you could make decals and cups and everything. So my mom's really a traditional old school person. If you make it, like if I gave her a macaroni card today, she'd just be thrilled and she'd hang it. and frame it.
Aw, the
He's-
macaroni card. I love those.
I've considered
what
more
about-
than once making those.
But Jane, I'm sure you can assimilate to like how like I feel. It's like, oh my gosh, or that you transition. And and even with my son, like when Harrison walked up to me one time in the kitchen and he's like, "Hi, Mom, can I give you I'm gonna give you a hug." And he picked me up. I'm like, okay, put me down.
Yeah.
Like,
Now you're bigger, a lot bigger than I am. Yeah.
yeah.
It's it's an interesting place because I think you go through this roller coaster where one moment they're an adult with you and the next moment they're your child again.
Mhm.
I had one of those moments today, and when I realized I was again treating her like she was a baby, and I just had to stop myself and say,
Right.
now come on, let's have an adult conversation about your feelings. So I think it's really hard though. It's
It's
really
hard. Yeah.
I remember my mother many years after I started, I was at NBC, I was, been a broadcaster, blah, blah, blah. And she and my dad are visiting me, and I was not yet married. And I must have been all of 28 by then. And she's like, your father and I aren't going to live forever. Who's going to take care of you? And I just looked at her and I went, oh, the same person who's taking care of me right now. Hello. And I thought, oh my God.
Interesting, right? I mean, that's a pretty deep statement.
Okay. Are you still, did something just happen on here?
No, we see you.
Over here.
We
Good.
see you.
Flopped up in front of my,
Did
all
you
right.
change the view?
Yeah, I
It-
changed
it's
the view. Where did
it's
we?
also heartwarming, to have those moments. And I know I'm very close with my kids, and close to the point sometimes where it's almost like, hey, wait, go sit down. And they coach me as much as I coach them, and it's just the way it goes. And it's funny because I have a day job, and I'm constantly, just like every other working mom, changing roles. It's like I leave work Allie in the garage, come in and I'm mom, and then I leave mom Allie over there and I become the girlfriend's, mom and like person. And it's, we're constantly changing, who we are. But I think the commonality, at least for me, is that I've always, as well, Jenna, had an open door policy with the kids. And, your secrets, your stories are always safe with me. Except, of course, when I starved Mary Kate and she would bring me her high chair to feed her. That was just not okay. And it had to be documented, but these are very, tender times, right?
Mm-hmm.
When, your 20-something-year-old shares something with you. And it's a lot more than a fight on the bus or a disagreement with your brother or sister.
True. And the other thing is, it's so hard when you recognize what they're feeling and you don't realize that's what's going on in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally confess that to you and you just go, oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah. And those are aha moments.
Yeah. It's very tough. Parenting is hard.
It is hard.
I'm not looking forward to those moments. I know. I think you know what I found was really interesting now that you guys are talking about it. When I moved out, my mother changed a lot. And I mean, I was home for college. We stayed home. Even me and my husband's first year of marriage was spent in my parents' house because we were building the house and it got held up during COVID. And my mother is the type that will ask you anything and expects the answer. Where are you going? What are you doing? What'd you have for breakfast today? What did he have for breakfast today? And what is he doing at this very moment right now? Call him. And she doesn't want to do the legwork. She wants you to just answer all these questions. And she kind of went radio silent when I moved out. And it was like, she saw this strange invisible wall where it was like, I can't reach out to her because now she's her own woman. She's a married woman. She'll be a mother one day. And I can't break that. She was almost too respectful of that line. And meanwhile, I'm sitting in my house, during COVID, working from home all alone, like, where's my mom?
Yeah, I need my
mom. I remember
had this moment where we reached out to each other and I was like, I've been trying to cook and I need you because you're not in the kitchen like you were for the last year. And, and then we finally had this moment where she said, well, I didn't want to impede. And I felt like I was too much on top of you. And we had to renegotiate our relationship all over again.
That's so true.
So
That's
interesting.
what happens. No, that's what happens when people get married. All of a sudden there's a difference. There's a total difference in the way they treat you because they don't. I mean, some people aren't this way, but my mother and father certainly were. We're going to define our roles because we don't want to interfere in your life. So I think that's
so
really
interesting to me.
Remember, Jenna, when you were moving out, I was like, oh my gosh, don't just walk out on your mother. I was like,
Allie gave me a piece of advice that was really interesting. And you were totally right, because you have to remember, we were also quarantined, me, my mother, my father, and my sister. And my husband went out to work. The rest of us were working remote. So we spent like more time together than we have in the last 15 years. And yeah, almost too much time. And when me and my husband finally moved out, it was kind of one of those things where we thought it was going to be gradual. And then it started happening all in one day, literally 24 hours. And we moved the two entire lives into one building. And Allie said, well, you're not moving your bedroom yet, right? And I said, and she said that to me, and I thought about it. And then all of a sudden the boys came and moved, all the bedroom furniture was gone. And me and my mom had a moment, and my mom cried. My mother never cries. She's an old German, stubborn woman. And she just said, I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. And then I cried, and Allie was right.
And I was like, no.
And you're like, you moved the bedroom furniture. I told you not to.
Because then her mom looked in the room and it was empty. It had been,
the room was empty.
For 26 years, there was somebody in there. And then all of a sudden it was empty. So I was just assimilating what it would be like for me. Mm-hmm. And I would not like that, so.
And my husband had already gone through that. So he was like, oh, look at how clean it is. A year ago when he moved in with my family. And I'm like, I need this moment. I didn't have this yet. He's like, oh my God.
Right. Your childhood bedroom with you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's currently what we sleep in. You build
and
the
it's
house,
adorable.
Run out of funds for the furniture.
Do they have a little princess canopy or? I'm kidding.
No, they keep talking about buying bunk beds for my guest bedroom. The boys, all the family members think this is going to be a frat house, but saves them off to date.
Oh, how life that changes when there's a marriage.
What is the craziest or the fondest memory you have as a little kid, as a child?
So as you know, I have 5 sisters and I'm the youngest, and they would all go shopping together, and I was youngest by a lot. So I would go to my attic and I would go up to the attic and go shopping. And then I would wrap everything elaborately. And my sisters would get like 10 things each. And it was all old stuff that they'd already gotten. And they were like, oh, this is great. Isn't this yours from 5 years ago? I mean, but they played that game with me for years.
Their little dolly.
It was so cute. I mean, I think about it and I remember because I'd say to my mom, can you let the stairs down for the attic? I have to go shopping. And that's what I would do.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, well.
It is so sweet.
I can't get away with it now, though.
Yeah, I know.
So cute.
What about you, Jane?
So my mother always hid the Santa presents up in the attic. And we actually had 2 attics on each end of the house, kind of. And so I would find them every year. I'd find them. And I always imagined that because Santa knew that I'd found those presents, that there would be something else for me. And then it would always be those presents that I found in the attic. And I'd go, and I'd say to my mom, but didn't Santa know? And she'd go, what do you mean? And I go, that I already knew they were there. So where was Santa in all of this?
Oh.
Right, exactly. That is so funny.
Seriously, I just they couldn't hide anything. I think I was a reporter then.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was going to say that definitely was a tip off to your future career.
What about you, Jenna?
I was a dreamer as a kid, and I adored Santa Claus. And I had an uncle who's passed, he's been gone about 3 or 4 years now. And he was also enamored by Santa Claus, right? And he was a collector. So he had a lot of antique things. So when you go to their house, and we went there a lot for Christmas as kids, he had he actually, Allie, you would love this, one of the old Macy's Day Parade bulbs that was actually used in
Wow.
Macy's, like an antique. Beautiful things, but he had these sleigh bells that I didn't learn about until later, and they were antique sleigh bells. And he would, after dessert, he'd disappear. And as a child, you don't absorb these things because you're too busy thinking about Santa Claus and when he's coming. And you'd hear thud, 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 and you'd hear the bells. And he would land the sleigh, and he would come in a perfect Santa Claus outfit.
Cool.
And none of us knew it was him.
Never knew it was him.
Wow.
No, and he did this to his own grandchildren as he got older, and it was the most magical thing. And I remember, we stopped going there for a few years, and then I came back, and now I know, Santa Claus isn't real. And I'm like, well, who the hell is who was Santa Claus? I never knew it was my Uncle Larry.
That's amazing. That's a great story.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So
Who's gonna do
I always
that?
think about that. I always think about those bells. Every year I think about it.
Has someone taken over that tradition?
He was one of those guys that you just couldn't replace.
Yeah, of
And
course.
he was just a larger than life guy. I should actually, because now we've all fractioned off since he passed away. Now my cousin moved away to Maryland, and we fractioned off. So I wonder if maybe one of his daughter's husbands took it on, but
That's
definitely
a,
should.
You can
it's a
find
sweet memory.
bells.
Mhm.
I wonder if somebody has those sleigh bells. Wouldn't that be cool?
I would love to know who has it. Either my aunt does or my cousin does. But I can tell you exactly what they look like to this day.
They are hard to find.
They
Oh,
are
they're gorgeous.
nothing like the sound of them. They
Yeah.
are so perfect.
Yes, incredibly. I mean, if you shop antique stores, maybe one in a dozen stores will have one in decent shape, and they're expensive. Very
Mhm.
hard to find.
I mean, it would
Um,
pierce through the house. That's
yes.
how stout they were.
The reindeers didn't give them up easily
No, why would they?
because I
I
know.
mean, come on, that's like a major thing, and they could always put them on eBay. Just kidding. No.
I'm on there now.
So the other thing that the kids would get were these fabulous sweaters.
Oh, great.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. Is that Santa with a beer?
Yeah, no, but Mary Kate was like, she was saying, "Mommy's gonna love that one,"
Oh,
and I did. I wore it. I mean, it's just like all these,
Where to
really sweet traditions.
I love that. But can I say one wonderful thing? I love your hair.
Oh, and I wanted to talk about my hair, and that was like, I want that to be like the closing moment. The Susan Natale, who inspired me to do some bend in my hair, got some
It looks fabulous.
it's actually
So good.
lighter, although it may not look it. And I encourage everyone to give yourself a little bit of a lift, whichever way it is. It's a tough time of year. And, whether it's getting your hair done or getting super sparkly nails, I did that too, to take care of you. And I think Sue was just so inspiring. And next week we have, I hope, Renee is better. And Renee will be joining us for doing, some makeup.
Yay.
And I, by the way, bought one of the
Did you get the thing?
Jane, your hair looks so straight.
It's so straight.
No, it's like amazing. Like even
Well, you're in New York too. No
Yeah, that-
humidity.
Yeah, that helps.
so I did follow her. I too followed her example, her lessons. So she was really good.
And I want to get the big
The
pebbles.
rollers, it's on my Christmas list this year.
Oh, it
I
is?
want them. Yeah.
Oh, well, I did buy some. I haven't used them yet though, because I haven't gone that far.
Well, this was a big undertaking for me, so
So
we'll see how I do. But yeah, I think I definitely need the lift, and I don't know, I feel a little bit, perkier, and it's always fun to improve upon yourself, and then when you get the nice compliments, it makes it even better. And you know how I feel, it's really important to give each other compliments because those are hugs. So I send you both hugs and happiest of Christmas wishes.
Yeah.
And thank you both for being here. And just enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families, take care of you. And to all the girlfriends out there that tuned in, thank you. And the first 10 of you to hit me up with a DM will get I have tank tops. So we're
Yeah.
right, because we're one day closer to summer. You need a tank top?
Good workout shirt.
I have one of those.
Yeah. So DM me at the Girlfriends Club on Facebook, and we will see you next week. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Mwah.